Thank you. As I said earlier, I'm a fiscal and social conservative. Fiscal conservative means that you have to make some tough decisions sometimes. We don't have a revenue problem in the government, and I'm not just talking about state government, I'm talking about local, state, and federal. We have a spending problem. We're spending way too much money on programs and things that really don't matter. And sometimes you have to make a tough decision to cut a program or to reduce the number of people that are on the payroll. That's just what you have to do. When I'm elected, I will support legislation that cuts spending. I will also support legislation that reduces your taxes. And I rarely say never, but I'm going to say never tonight. I will never, ever vote for a state income tax. I don't think that's the right solution. The other thing that we need to do that will help our budget, because we can't use additional revenue, we need to do things that foster small business growth, and it also creates an environment that helps those small businesses to survive. Small businesses are the backbone of this economy. And when the small businesses are well, the economy is well. And I look forward to serving you in the legislature, and I will be true to my word when I say I'm a fiscal conservative. I will cut spending, and I will reduce your taxes. Thank you.
Well, thank you. I am also opposed to a state income tax. I don't think that's the answer. I am, however, really concerned on how they look at their cuts in their budget. I think being a responsible government, you have to really look at the departments. I think you have to go back to the departments and say, where do we make these cuts? Now, I don't believe in cutting good jobs. I don't believe in cutting the lowest people in the crowd and getting rid of their jobs. That's the best way to save money, is to get rid of the little guys that seem meaningless to the government. That makes us, well, we're cutting some here, we're cutting jobs, but that's not in any sense good when you cut a person's job. If you've been in this area, you know that. I don't think that we look hard enough at our departments, and we don't go to the people that work in those departments and find a good way to cut the government, good way to cut spending. I think we just sit back and look at the big picture and just pick and choose the wrong cuts, which is the lowest people on the scale. And that, to me, is not the right way to run a government.
Okay, Mr. Tubby.
Complicated topic, obviously. I don't believe that we necessarily have an income issue. I think we do have the proper funding for the programs that exist. It's just that I don't think the programs are necessarily being managed properly. I think we have an opportunity to trim and tighten our belt. I don't know about each of you, but it's how we're surviving in my household today. The economy is difficult, touches every single one of us. We all work hard. We all spend time and focus on the revenue. The reality is that the establishment has kind of brought us here. We've had the same leadership for some time. I think that there's some responsibility there. I'm sorry that I'm being practical. I'm not attempting to throw rocks. I'm just simply saying that we have a serious situation. I'm here to be part of that answer. And the biggest reality is that I'm not funded by anyone. I don't have backing. I don't have people that tell me what the right answer is. I'm not going to stand here in front of you and tell you that I have the right answer. The thing is I do want to work with you, and I want to learn what's best for us by understanding what the people believe is important. I need to learn from you, and I need to be educated. I need your support, and I need your vote. Thank you.
Mr. Bradley.
Thank you. I too am against an income tax. That would not be an issue. I do have issues with wasteful spending and wasteful use of our resources. One of the things that concerned me recently is reading a report where there was nearly $70,000 spent last year and just a filing and submission of resolutions, basically honoring organizations and citizens in the county, which is very, very important. The $70,000, that would fund nearly 15 college scholarships for our children. That's something that doesn't need to be done when we've got those considerations, especially in these tough economic times. I also think we need to look outside the box for revenue sources. For example, I work for criminal court, and there's a tremendous amount of money that is owed by criminal court defendants that would simply eliminate any issues of budget cuts in this county and in this state if the money was collected. The problem is there is no source or no action that the judges or the courts can take because there is no law that would allow them to take any action. For example, in DUI cases, the person's driver's license is suspended until you pay your court costs. That doesn't go with any other cases. We're looking at several $1 million each year that goes across this state in every court that we're letting get through the door. Being in criminal court, that is something I'm going to focus on day one.
Mr. Tomlin?
Thank you. There's no question about it. I think our economic status right now has to be dealt with. I think one of the things we need to do is take a fast, hard look on the way we're spending money, the way we're allocating it out to certain programs. However, I do think people are hurting, and we have to provide a stimulus sometime to jolt the economy. So I'm opposed to saying that I will never vote for a tax increase. I would have to get there. I would have to study it. I would have to make sure that what we're doing is in the best interest of all the citizens. You see, because sometimes some national emergencies can come up where we can't afford to do anything else. So again, I won't say I will never, but I'll tell you what, before I do, I will engage the citizen that it will affect. We will do the best thing for our city and for our state. As it relates to how we'll go about doing this, I've been very effective on the city council, working with members from both sides of the party. I'm a person that's a uniter, can get things done. You can check the record. I would do the same thing working for you. Ask the people of Antioch whether or not we do things, willy-nilly. We always consult with the people, and I think that's what you want. You want to be a part of the answer because once you hear the explanation, we're in better position to see what we're going to do. So I'll tell you, I will be there for you. I will bring government to people, and I'll make sure that government officials keep their promise. And that I can assure you, and I would appreciate you sharing your time with me later on to find out my other plans. Thank you.
This is another state.
First again, thank you. Well, that's an easy answer. Absolutely not. And you cannot borrow your way out of a financial problem. When you do that, you're mortgaging yourself to the future. I'm very concerned about the burden that we already have on our children and grandchildren. And we've got to stop this. Washington has gone out and just bought an unbelievable sum of money and called it a stimulus package. And we're just spending it we're drunk on that money. And we're spending it just like crazy. And we've got to stop that. That is a recipe for disaster.
Again, I'm a no on that. I don't agree in any manner whatsoever. It's just like in your household, you have to take responsibility for your actions. You have to come up, work together, and solve your problems. Throwing money at issues does not solve problems, and you're going to see several issues this coming year with the education stimulus, the education package that we have. Throwing money doesn't solve the problem. Solving the problem is looking deep inside yourself and deciding and convicting whether you want to make a change in what's going on in the government and what's.
Mr. Tobin?
Off the cuff, the answer is no. But the bigger reality is that I plan to study the issues that are presented in front of me in the future. I plan on making an intelligent decision. I plan on consulting with you, with your thoughts and ideas and how you feel about it. I think you're going to hear a theme this evening. I represent you. I know it's kind of strange. It goes all the way back to the original concept. I don't have all the answers. I don't believe that we should be borrowing the money. I think the stimulus reality is scary. I like the comment that was made earlier about being drunk on it. I'm not familiar with that feeling, but there's something going on there.